going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Flame. Welcome everyone back to a brand new Pokemon video here for the channel. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm covering up two things. Number one, some new characters coming in with the Pokemon Sword and Shield anime, and the other one talking about Sun and Moon, which I thought that I would never cover because I didn't really much care for this series. But either way, let's go into the video. So first things first, I want to talk about Pokemon Sun and Moon. If you guys have been living under a rock or haven't been paying attention to Pokemon or anything like that, the final battle between Ash versus Kukui for the ending of the Pokemon Sun and Moon series has concluded, and I'll have to say, round of applause, man. Like, that battle completely shut me up, and it's definitely going to go down in the history books for one of the best fights in Pokemon history for battles. Like, it was insane between Tapu Koko versus Pikachu. That was something, man. That animation, it was clean. I liked the story that I was going through, and I'll have to say, man, I like this what Pokemon has to offer, because even though we have this terrible animation for Ash and some of the characters that we all know and love, when they come to a point like this, I'm glad they did shut me up from this reason, and it was fun to watch. And I definitely highly recommend if you guys go and watch that episode between Sun and Moon. It's finally over and done, and we move on with this series. But that was the big news for Pokemon Sun and Moon. We're slowly closing in with the finale right here, and we actually have a little bit of news covering throughout Sun and Moon as well before we reach the end right here. So there's an article, there's a post here today that was for Pokemon Sun and Moon fans of the finale episode covering everything. So on November the 3rd of this year, 2019, the Alola region will be done, over with, and it will be, of course, sailing on to a new region with Ash and go onto Pokemon Sword and Shield. So with this article on November the 3rd, it says Satoshi, aka Ash, that's what of course they call him, has decided to return to Pallet Town. However, he can't quite bring himself to telling the others. In addition, the time for the Team Rocket to part ways with Mimikyu and the others is rapidly approaching. So that's my guess, is between Beware and Mimikyu. Those were, of course, the two Pokemon that Team Rocket really had in their possession within the Alola series, which it was funny at first. I definitely love Beware, how, you know, it usually sometimes within Pokemon, like if it was in Hoenn or Kanto, whatever it might be, like a Pokemon might come up and bring Team Rocket away from Ash so he can move on with his journey. That was just like kind of Beware. That was the comedy of the Alolan series, which it was funny at first, and then it kind of got repetitive in my opinion. I don't know, like I said, it's been so long since I watched the Sun and Moon series. It could have been a lot better, but to anyone loving Beware, which I'm pretty sure Beware was probably the best Pokemon within the Alolan series that everyone loved. Like, it was the comedy of the series. So to see Beware and Mimikyu go is kind of saddening, because I definitely love those two Pokemon. They're definitely OP, especially for Team Rocket to actually have those Pokemon within their grasp. But for them saying their final goodbye, it kind of reminds me of like the Arbok and Weezing. It's probably going to be a really sad moment for everyone to watch. So that's going to be it. And also Ash saying goodbye to everyone else, just like we always see in every single series. Like, for example, Kalos, where he said goodbye to, of course, the Clement, Bonnie, and Serena to go on to his other journey, etc. like that, until it repeats, and then we see him on his new journey go all the way forward. So on November the 3rd, 2019, it's going to be the final episode of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Or less from the Pokemon Sword and Shield games that comes out November the 15th, and then on November the 17th is when Pokemon Sword and Shield begins, and also we'll begin a 1-hour special of the first episode, which is going to be really cool. We're going to get a lot of details on that, but let's hop into the Sword and Shield news and etc. So we have Team Rocket coming back to Sword and Shield. It's not really a surprise. It's been the tradition. It's been literally through Ash's journey ever since he started in Kanto to where it is right now. So of course, when I have those comedy moments, we're gonna have predictions of what James is gonna catch, Jesse's gonna catch, what Meowth and Wobbuffet are gonna do, how they're gonna bug Ash and throughout his journey. They're gonna go with them to like Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, etc. like that. So we might see a pretty cool Team Rocket, you know, roster at this point, and we may of course see Giovanni and the rest of Team Rocket as well within, of course, Sword and Shield. So I'll have to say, we have the designs right here. I'm not giving Pokemon any bad credit towards their Pokemon. I think the animation for everything, if it's Pikachu, Meowth, any legendary, any starter, whatever it might be, is always phenomenal. I love the animation, and they do such a well job. James and Jesse, on the other hand, I'm not really too sure about their character look. It reminds me of Sun and Moon. It just looks like they just grown up a little bit. It's not a bad thing. It's not. I'm not really disappointed. It just, I don't know if frustrated is the right word as well. I'm just gonna like calm down, watch the first episode, and go along with that because I still like Ash's design. I like Go's design. I think the Pokemon are right, so I think they can still be a good series. But Team Rocket, we're gonna see quite a bit. There's always those filler episodes, them stopping Ash in his journey, maybe them catching a new Pokemon, etc., going on forth. So that's the only little problem that I have with here. But comment down below, what do you guys think of their design on here? Like I said, it just looks like they're more grown up. Like we see them in a Alola region, and now we see them in, of course, the Sword and Shield anime area here. They just look like they've aged like 2 years or something like that, you know, like that's the character design that I look towards them as well. But that's really the news here that we have for Sword and Shield right now. I just thought I'd bring it up to you guys because every single time I want to bring you guys updates, I think it would be good. And especially, I just feel like this is a big update as well, just because we know of Team Rocket, right? They've been a tradition for the Pokemon anime series for such a long time, and we didn't even know. There's always that rumor of Ash not even being in here in the first place. It would have been probably a new protagonist, or we could have had a different Team Rocket members, who knows. So to see them back is still good. They're kind of keeping that tradition going, and we're going to see what their evil roots are going to be. We're going to be seeing them on November the 17th here. But hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, if there's any updates throughout the Pokemon Sword and Shield anime, I'll definitely bring you guys to it. And I think on November the 3rd as well, when the Alolan series finally ends, I'll bring you guys a video on that as well, talking about I guess personal feelings, like what to expect. Maybe we might get a hint of the Sword and Shield anime at the very end of the last episode of the Sun and Moon series, so I'll cover that up for you guys here on the channel. But of course, if there's any more updates, I'll let you guys know. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure, of course, to leave a like, comment down below what are you guys' thoughts and opinions on this, and subscribe to the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. But either way, guys, we'll see you, of course, on more Pokemon Sword and Shield anime updates. Much love, and as always, have yourselves a wonderful day.